Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Well, looky who's being investigated. This coming from Ian Binns here, World Economic Forum launch probe into founder Klaus Schwab over whistleblower allegations. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, I recently did a video on, the Pope, how he died, and how Klaus Schwab of the WEF stepped down on the exact same day, both 88 years of age. I'll link that video up here. Well, now, guys, the World Economic Forum launches a probe into founder Klaus Schwab over whistleblower allegations, and this is coming from Reuters. So you would think that they would have investigated this. This isn't just a conspiracy rumor. The Wall Street Journal first reported on the probe. It said an anonymous letter sent last week to the WEF's board raised concerns about its governance and workplace culture, including allegations that the Schwab family mixed their personal affairs with the forum's resources without proper oversight. Why am I not surprised? The WEF takes these allegations seriously. It emphasized that they remain unproven and will await for the outcome of the investigation to comment further. Now, I don't know, is this just a red herring? Is this, the powers that be putting up a bit of a distraction, maybe a little bit of theater for us in plain sight to be distracted? I don't know. It is interesting, though. I thought the Schwab family pretty much had full control over the WEF. And even months ago now, I think it was maybe even a year ago, I was under the impression that Klaus Schwab's son was going to take over as the head of the WEF. So I'm not entirely sure where this lands at the moment. Is the Great Reset still on track? Well, it is. I don't know if it's fully going to happen, go down the way that they had anticipated, though. We do know for a fact, though, Ripple and XRP definitely going to be a part of a new financial system. So at least that is still occurring, and that's great. Bull Dieppe here posting this, guys. Another ETF launching in Canada, 3IQ, the first regulated digital asset investment fund manager in Canada, also did file for an XRP ETF. And this is the OSC Bulletin, the Ontario Securities Commission. And this was just released on April the 17th. If you do a quick search for XRP, you guys can find that down here on page 76, the issuer is 3IQ, and it's looking like they are registering an XRP ETF. So this is the principal regulator in Ontario. Type and date. So the final long form prospectus dated April the 10th. We've got the filing number down here. And so it sounds as though there's still quite a ways to go there. Nevertheless, XRP becoming more and more popular globally. And as demand rises, guys, obviously we're going to see an XRP become less volatile and more stable. This is the whole concept of once we do see a true price appreciation, and at the moment we have an XRP trading in and around $2.27. XRP is trading in a spec market at the moment, and a speculative market is obviously very different than real world utility. And this is why I think this bull run is going to look very different than former bull runs. 2025 is shaping up, and we still kind of don't really know what we're going to see by the end of it. For more information on how I'm treating this bull run, what I'm going to be looking for near the end, are we going to see real utility? How much of my XRP am I going to sell? How much should I be keeping for the long term? Because you want to pay yourselves, guys. Make sure you pay yourselves. Do not round trip your crypto. I know it's maybe not a very popular opinion here, but patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for those who want to see what I'm doing. I made the mistake once before in 2021 where I did not sell any of my XRP. And it went up to $1.96, then went back down to 30 cents. I could have sold at $1.96 and bought back in at 30 cents. Don't make the same mistake twice. At least I'm not. Patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for my crypto trading journey this time around. So yeah, the theory is once we do get into that real world utility, we are going to see an XRP price remain stable and high. And even there's some documentation that's also supporting this notion. So less volatile as demand stabilizes through its use as a bridge currency for institutional payments and cross-border flows. Once banks are permitted to hold XRP on their balance sheets, a move that documentation shows can stabilize prices at higher levels. Now, if you guys didn't catch the video I did this morning, I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Essentially, we've got the Office of the Controller of the Currency stating, yeah, in the United States, banks can now effectively use stablecoins and other cryptocurrencies in their banking system. So that has now been confirmed. We also have Paul Atkins now at the helm at the SEC saying, being very, very clear that cryptocurrency legislation is going to be one of their top priorities. So Smoke continues by saying, it's utility-driven demand that will reduce volatility and support long-term price consistency. Now that Paul Atkins has officially been sworn in as the SEC chair, the push for regulatory clarity around digital assets on bank balance sheets is gaining momentum. And of course, XRP is positioned to benefit from this directly. So here's just some documentation. XRP coins had initially been exposed to certain volatility. And again, guys, this is because we're trading in a spec market. Every single cryptocurrency is exposed to volatility because everything's pretty much just following Bitcoin at the moment. However, they believe that this will even out as the demand becomes more constant due to steady demand for XRP as a bridging currency. They go on, they talk about some other things, including Basel III. Like down in here, teleporting gold. So why should banks care? Because Ripple plans to use XRP to solve their liquidity problems. And this is, we're working in a world of Basel III. Ripple's big idea is to use XRP once its market cap gets high enough and it is being traded heavily enough to provide banks with liquidity on demand. Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. I mean, I know you guys have heard me say that time and time again, especially throughout 2020, 2021, 2022, when we were seeing all those new partnerships when it came to ODL, the new, the exchanges that were coming online that were providing liquidity for XRP. This has been Ripple's MO from the beginning. And now I think XRP is actually very, very liquid. I think it's liquid enough that Ripple decided that they can pivot, that they can, purchase other companies like Medico and more recently Hidden Road. So now they're going to kind of combine their efforts and create a one-stop shop for tokenization, cross-border payments just being one aspect, one component of the bigger picture of what the XRPL is going to be used for as a bigger picture. So this is interesting. I mean, we do have President Donald Trump signing another executive order, and Bonfire Guy here commenting, add another boom for the week. Change is coming. President Trump doesn't need Jerome Powell anymore. He is building his own rails, currency, and economy. So if you watch this morning's video, you get a bit more context on this. Well, guys, could the Fed be ending?
Executive order for your attention relating actually to government payments. Historically, checks issued by the Treasury are, I believe, 14 times more likely to become the subject of fraud than electronic transfer payments. This is an executive order that's going to push the Treasury Department to modernize its payment system to ensure that where possible they're using electronic methods of payment as opposed to paper checks in order to reduce waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, which is obviously an endeavor that we've been pursuing in numerous aspects of government under your leadership.
It's basically modernization of equipment and methods, and it's something that really I think he's going to be a great Secretary of the Treasury wanted, Scott. And so we're doing this, and we have other modernization programs going on. We could let somebody else, whoever's next, whoever that may be, do it, but it's something that should have been done 25, 30 years ago.
So it should have been done 25, 30 years ago. I don't know. Maybe just modernizing payments. Now that we have blockchain technology, though, and that's only come about within the last decade, let's say to be generous, really, the technology is just getting better and better every year. But the United States is modernizing, and Donald Trump wants to be the president that happens under. And so, he's signing these executive orders. Could we, in fact, start to see more real-world demand for XRP and therefore a higher price, but a less volatile price? I don't know, guys. I think, this is kind of, it's interesting because there's so many theories out there for XRP going up to $10,000, going up triple digits, quadruple digits. We don't know yet. Again, this is why I'm treating this bull run very, very carefully. Definitely going to pay myself. My cost average for XRP is down to 17.5 cents, but I don't just hold XRP. I hold other cryptocurrencies as well. So I do have the $15,000 plus altcoin portfolio that I will just be trading out for profit. Again, if you guys want to see my targets, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I also found it kind of curious that David Schwarz just changed his profile pic that includes bearable guy type bears. Yeah, this is true. So David Schwarz, he did just post, he's changed his pic. Yeah, change it. Go ahead, change your PFP. With the bearable guy bears being the angel and the devil on the shoulders. If you take a look, this is David Schwartz's Twitter X account here. And there you have it. I don't know if this is a hint, if this means something, if this potentially means that this is going to be the last pump to the upside before XRP does see true price discovery. Remember when David Schwarz commented, and this is crazy because it was on the day, if you guys were here in 2021, you probably remember this, when David Schwarz commented that this is going to be his least popular tweet ever. And basically he said take profits off the table. He basically said that April 14th. It was either the 14th or the 15th, 2021. And if you guys look here, that was literally the day that XRP reached its inter-year high in 2021. That was here. Right up here, I'm just going to put a horizontal line there, and that was to $1.96. And that is, of course, the resistance levels that we are now bouncing upon right now, okay, in 2025. This is the resistance level that I keep saying. Hopefully we stay above resistance. Sure enough, we are. And now David Schwarz, guys, changing his profile pic to a bearable guy themed pic. Things that make you go, The other thing that I wanted to mention that I found quite curious, and Mike Manfield was not the only one posting this. I actually had one of my Patreon subscribers send me this as well. This isn't real, is it, Wrath of Kahneman? He's asking, as it's the first I've heard of it. Guys, apparently Amazon is partnering with Ripple to integrate XRP for global payments. Now, originally I thought that this was a regurgitated piece of news from years ago, but apparently not, guys. Amazon has recently announced a significant business move by partnering with Ripple to integrate XRP as a payment option across its global platform. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. And the reason, I'll give you the reasons in a sec. This strategic alliance marks a major advancement in the adoption of digital currencies in mainstream financial transactions, positioning XRP as a leading player in the space. RippleNet, the decentralized global messaging network, facilitates the integration of XRP on Amazon payment platforms. So integrating it with Amazon specifically, the system enables real-time transactions. Okay, we know that. By adopting RippleNet, Amazon aims to enhance the speed and efficiency of its payment transactions. That would be very beneficial for Amazon, obviously, according to technical analysis. Okay, so they're just going to talk a little bit about the price there. Ripple has established an extensive network that includes over 100 financial institutions. We've got Santander, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, Kotak Mahindra Bank. These partnerships demonstrate Ripple's commitment to providing secure and scalable solutions for the global financial cross-border payments. I'm wondering that now, if we do, considering we do have more news out, like the Office of the Controller of the Currency saying American banks can now introduce cryptocurrency into their workflows. If we're going to see these types of news pieces come out fast and furiously, so it could just be that Amazon has said, we've been working on this in the background for a very, very long time. I don't know if you guys remember this AWS partner profile Ripple. This is directly from Amazon's website. If you look up here, aws.amazon.com. And we reported on this back in, I think it was 2018. RippleNet, Xcurrent processing real-time payments, XRapid sourcing on-demand liquidity, XVia sending global payments with a single integration. So this was directly on their website here with some partnerships, some banking members. So I don't know, guys, is this a revitalized partnership? Is Amazon coming on board with XRP transactions? One of my Patreon subscribers, he was saying that I think a relative of his or a friend of his does work for Amazon, and he was the one who sent him this. So I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to report back if I do hear something. I mean, it would be great news if it was indeed a revitalized partnership. I mean, what could this mean? Is David Schwarz toying with us? I mean, he generally only does stuff like this in a bull market. We are seeing XRP breaking out, starting to rally once again. Hopefully we can get up to even higher highs today. But that's just my opinion. And for more opinions on where I think this market's going to go, again, what do you guys think? Do you think 2025 is going to be the year of real world utility, or do you still think there's going to be some hammering out to do? And how this bull market runs is going to be very dependent on that. Remember, Bitcoin does its thing and the rest of the crypto market generally does follow, and that kind of happens every 4 years. And this is how we've been trading in the past. Well, I'm documenting my trading journey over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If I think something's going to change, I'm going to be letting my Patreon subscribers know. I'm also going to be putting out an announcement for this week's live Q&A. I think we're going to do it. I'm not sure if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday yet, but I think we're definitely going to do it this weekend for a live Q&A session with me, Working Money Channel, for the Patreon subscribers. So sign up for the Patreon if that's something you guys are interested in. Also, I wanted to mention that I have the Working Money Channel merch store. That is now up. 15-ounce mugs. I know some of you guys were wondering about 15-ounce mugs, and I've designed a brand new Send It Astronaut XRP mug. 20% off for the month of April, so check it out. Link is in the description. But guys, that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.